So yeah, on Koné, I've really spent a lot of time thinking about the midfield situation over the past 2 days. And I think we're going to see a window, and please don't take this as gospel because it isn't, where we get McAllister. You can take that as gospel because that's happened. Khéphren Thuram and Veiga, or a Barella, or somebody else a bit more forward-leaning and creative. I think Koné, the more I look at this situation, is a just in case, an in case of emergency break glass type signing. Because again, as I've said many times, it's a very easy deal to make for Liverpool. George Schmadtke's son is now the sporting director at Borussia Mönchengladbach. So if Liverpool wanted to get that deal done, I would say that deal will be done. So I have some positive news with regard to Liverpool's pursuit of Khéphren Thuram. And I guess it's positive from the perspective of the pathways clearing up right now. So Luke Edwards from The Telegraph reported earlier on that Newcastle have moved their attention towards some dude by the name of Felix Nemeka. Now, I'm sure you guys might know who he is. I'm going to be honest, not going to Scooby-Doo. But the reason I bring it up is they were another name in the mix for Khéphren Thuram, as were PSG. Both have distanced themselves from the move, meaning Liverpool look like, we are the only one at the table. And I guess we're going to have to hope that Nice play ball a little bit over the fee, because I don't see Jim Ratcliffe doing us any favours. So let's wait and see. But I think that's where the plan is. If I'm to guess, I would say that's more likely than Koné and Thuram. That's just a guess, though. Are we looking at Veiga as an alternative in one of the midfield three? I believe so. And on Veiga, there looks like there's real concrete stuff starting to come out now. Now, again, I'm going to give you one name, but there are many names today kind of going along a similar route. Rudy Galletti has said he understands that Liverpool are set to make a concrete move for Gabri Veiga. And we know that he has a... Now, he actually wrote these words, right? The Spanish flag, MF capitals, meaning midfielder, has a release clause of 40 million euro. Connor messaged me going, I read that as, the motherfucker has a release clause of 40 million euro. And I just kind of sat there for a minute thinking, wouldn't it be great if that's actually how the media reported this shit? Like, homeboy or motherfucker or this cunt over here has a release clause. Like, I love that. I love that. So I wish how Connor read that was true, but it's supposed to read, the midfielder has a release clause of 40 million euro in the contract to Celta Vigo. Not only Liverpool are interested, Chelsea, Manchester City, Real Madrid, Napoli are among other clubs that have shown interest in the player. So, yeah. Look, I think I can see how this is true. Now, I don't know definitively that we're about to launch that move, but we know what we need to do. 40 million euro. We also have an ace up our sleeve in the form of young Stefan Bajcetic, who of course came from Celta Vigo. Thiago was good links back there as well. If I'm not mistaken, I think Thiago's father played at Celta Vigo at one point. And yeah, we know what we need to do. 40 million euro, that's the release clause. So let's wait and see what happens. So there was the Anfield talk about something earlier on that they credited to Ed Aarons, and they said Crystal Palace, Liverpool and Chelsea among several clubs interested in Gambia striker Adama Bojang. 3 million euros the price tag apparently, and I have not got a clue about this kid. Never heard of his name until just recently. The Athletic have posted that turning 33 this month, Jordan Henderson is likely to begin to transition into the James Milner role, providing the experience and quality as a squad player, which makes sense, right? I think all of us will agree with that. I don't see Jordan Henderson having many starts this season in the league. Yeah, I just don't. Also, Steven Gerrard looks like he's about to make his way to Saudi Arabia to become a manager. He's already over there now, and apparently Al Ettifaq are the club that he's in talks with. He's been pictured and filmed over there in Saudi Arabia at the minute, so we will give you an update on that as and when we get it. Liverpool have indeed been linked with another centre-back today, one that may be familiar to you guys and one that you probably remember hearing about a while ago, and that's Perr Schuurs. He's being listed by Caught Offside as somebody who Liverpool are indeed once again looking at. The Echo went on to say that they reported that if not this summer, a new centre-back who will arrive inside the next 12 months. I think it will be this summer. And the left-sided central defender is the one that we need to get in. Mickey van de Ven, Levi Cole will have also been linked with transfers. Now, I know a bit more about Perr Schuurs, to be honest with you, than some of the other targets. And I'd be alright with it. I'd be alright with Schuurs. I would. I'd be alright with Timber. I'd be alright with I don't know what about Van der Ven, so I'm not sure about him. I'd be okay with Inacio, but I'm not 100% sold on him. And I still feel like Sepp van den Berg will have a future at the football club, even if he has another season on loan. Speaking of loan, Preston North End have shown some interest in another Liverpool youngster. This time it is Bobby Clark, who has been linked with a potential loan move. Calvin Ramsey is another one that they're looking at potentially bringing in there on loan. But again, Preston, fine football club, good tradition, always challenging up there in the Championship as well. So let's wait and see if there's any truth to that one. And finally, before I move on from this clip, the Premier League are now considering introducing a spending cap. I don't know if you guys seen this story today. Martin Ziegler, I believe, of the Times is the one where I read it, and I'm going to read you a little bit of it now. It says Premier League clubs are considering introducing a spending cap that would link the amount of money any club can spend on wages to how much television money is paid to the lowest placed team. The proposal, called anchoring, would restrict the top teams to spending, for example, 4 times the amount of money the bottom club receive in TV revenue, though the exact proportion has yet to be defined. So look, you can read this article for yourself if you get a chance. It is free, at least it was for me to have a read of it. They go on to talk about the fact that there's already a big financial gap and is likely to get bigger. The strength of the Premier League has been its competitiveness and unpredictability, and this proposal can help maintain that. That's what they're saying. English clubs earned between 70 million and 115 million pounds from the Champions League in this season. Manchester City, Chelsea have already qualified for the new revamped tournament in 2025 by virtue of winning the Champions League in the past 3 seasons, which is likely to bring in at least 30 million pounds per club. So again, they're looking to the future to try and maintain this balance. And whilst I have absolutely no idea how this actually works, I do like the idea of some form of spending limits to some extent, because it's starting to get a little bit crazy. And when I say this, people have a go at me because they think I'm just crying because Man City or Chelsea are able to spend all this money. There is a little bit of that. Of course there is. But my biggest concern is, as and always will be, the long-term health of the game. And I don't want these financial numbers becoming so crazy that it just ends up in an arms race and people lose their clubs and football just falls away the wayside, because it isn't sustainable at the current levels. It's madness. So that is pretty much where we're at with the latest update. So now it is over to you guys to let me know what you think on everything that we've just spoken about. Namely about Perr Schuurs being linked again as a centre-back. Do we need to bring in an attacking midfielder, or would you like to see a defensive one? And of course, the thoughts on the spending cap issues as well. So, my friends, how are we? Again, thank you for letting me do that little bit of a clip there for Mr. Crosby. 30 minutes-ish into the stream. Thank you for that. I'm not going back to it all, dude. I'm not going back to it all. If your internet lag, that's tough shit on you, dude. Yeah. John Henry had a wet dream when he heard spending cap. Oh, I would say he was absolutely the best boy at that meeting. And they do have a meeting coming up this week, by the way, the Premier League. I think it's in this article. Where is it? It said the Premier League said it's unlikely to adopt a similar percentage, blah, 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 UEFA, blah, 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 blah. The Premier League also went on to consider the number of live TV matches it will make available to broadcasters in the 25 to 28 domestic TV cycle. The rights are due to be sold early next year. They go on about bringing this up to maybe 260 games from the current, where's the amount it currently is? Can't remember. I don't have this bit. Yeah, but they're talking about more TV games, but still keeping that blackout at 3 PM, by the way. Where's this one? Yeah, so the Premier League's annual meeting is in Hampshire on Tuesday and Wednesday. So they'll be talking about all this stuff then. Any news on Thuram Koné? So there's been a little bit, but nothing concrete. But what I'm gauging from what I'm seeing is the more it goes on, the more I think it's one or the other for those two. And the reason I think that is, one, because if we wanted Koné, I can't repeat this enough, it's an easy deal to do. So I think Liverpool want to get Thuram next. Again, complete, just reading between the lines of what I'm seeing in the media. For me, I think we'll see McAllister, a Thuram, and then maybe a more attacking midfielder like Veiga or, I don't know, somebody else. Do you think if Liverpool were to trigger the release clause of Veiga, do you think he'd be worth it? It's never a guarantee, that a young player who's done well in an environment that obviously he's comfortable in a league that he's probably grown up watching and understanding. It's never a guarantee that you take that youngster, drop him into the Premier League, to a new city, a new culture, and expect it to be flawless. So, hard to say, but at the numbers mentioned, a 40 million euro, like I said about Chiesa, it's a number that I can think is possible to take the risk.